What on earth is the Tampa real estate market doing right now in 2023? Actually, November of 2023. Let's take a look. Okay, so here we have the November statistics. November of 2023 statistics, at least. So things are starting to look interesting, I guess you'd say. As I've said in previous market reports, we are going into the holiday season, so things may look a little funky just because, I mean, not everybody wants to move around the holidays. There's really more just serious buyers during the holidays and more serious sellers that maybe just have to be somewhere by January or whatever the case may be. So there's just not quite the same kind of activity during the holidays. So these numbers are going to reflect that no matter what kind of market we are in. But we are up 9% when it comes to active listings for November versus October of 2023. So that's a really good sign, actually. A lot of active listings. It looks like inventory is a little bit higher now. That could be because of either more homes coming on the market or just less homes going under pending. I know with the interest rates being how they were, it was a little more concerning for buyers, so maybe there were less buyers in the pool at the moment. Again, between the interest rates and the holidays, it could be a number of things. Now, our new listings actually are down about 6% from October, which, again, just telling of the holidays and everything, people were less likely or, less wanted to put their homes on the market in the middle of the holiday season and everything. And again, many people are less likely to want to put their homes on the market with things looking as they were and everything. I'm going to get to a little bit more of that in a little bit, but we're just kind of go over the statistics right now. So our pending sales are down about 11% from October. Again, from October here in November of 2023, and our listings sold were down a little bit. Now, like I said, those numbers are telling not only just of the holiday market again, but some of it can be because of those interest rates and people being, a little weary of them and how high that they did get earlier this year. Now, at the next row here, we have ADOM, which is average days on market. Now, November of 2023, we're at 43 days on market, which is up 5% from the 41 days on market in October. Now, what does that mean? That means how many days on average your home was on the market before going pending or before being sold. So again, that was up 5%. That does show a little bit less of that craze like we were seeing, a few years ago and everything. Things were only on the market for maybe 2 days or whatever the case may be before going under contract. We're not seeing that quite the same anymore. Now, another thing that I forgot to mention earlier, this is the statistics for not all of the state of Florida, but all of Stellar MLS, which covers a large majority of Florida. It is like 20-something counties, mostly here in central Florida, from here in Tampa, up a little bit north towards Orlando and Ocala, as well as down south towards Naples and that area and everything. Like I said, like 20-something counties. It's a large swath of Florida that this covers. So these statistics do come from all of the state of, or not all of the state of Florida, but all of what Stellar MLS covers. So we will get into the Hillsborough County specific statistics in just a couple minutes. So our next one is total sales volume, which for November of 2023, we are down 7% from October of 2023, which was $6 billion, with our $5.6 billion in November. Now, those numbers obviously are trending down with everything else being a little bit down, but that can also be down because of the sales being a little lower, Maybe not as many high ticket homes like $1 million homes selling or something like that. So there are a lot of factors that do go into that. Next, we have our average sales price, which is up in November from October. Only about 1%, only about 7,000 or a little less than 7,000, but that's good to see with all these other numbers going down. I mean, at least on the seller side, obviously on the buying side, this average sales prices going up does make it a little harder to see yourself in, say a starter home or something along those lines. But it is a good sign when we're looking at all of the information here. We aren't seeing any kind of downturn per se when it comes to, any kind of crash or something like that, which is what a lot of people were thinking about and were saying it was going to happen. We are just not seeing that looking at these statistics, not only for, again, all of what our MLS covers for the majority of Florida, but also for, here specifically in Tampa and Hillsborough County. So next we have months of inventory, which is 4.3, which is actually just a little bit up from October, which was 3.6, which again, kind of goes along with those active listings. We have a little bit more homes on the market than we do buyers in the buyer pool. So there's a little more inventory there per se. So next up, we will go to our next tab here that says matrix. Now these statistics are a little bit different from the graphic that we just saw. This is all, I'll show you here, here in Florida, but more specifically in Hillsborough County. And this is all for just residential sales. So you'll see that we have from January of this past year of 2023 here, all the way down to December. Now, take these December numbers, again, with a grain of salt. We're not really going to talk about them because we are in the middle of December right now, and those things are not accurate. We will see a lot of changes and fluctuations up until a few days into January, actually, is where we have the cutoff for, making that data change in MLS. So just take those numbers with a grain of salt, but we are going to look here at November with our average sales price of $501,000. That's a big jump from what we were seeing before. We were seeing previously, 300s, upper 300s. And now we're just seeing, upper 400s and into the 500s. We did have a 522 sale price average in August with a 15 days to sell. Now you see this number is creeping up. We had, in January and February and March, when just after we had that big jump in interest rates last year, these homes were sitting for quite a bit longer and everything, not only because of that interest rate hike, but also, again, the holidays and everything. People were just a little concerned about all of that and didn't know what things would look like. But you see, we came down, into the summer and everything. We had 14 days to sell, 14 days to sell, 13 days to sell, right there in the midst of the summer. Now, I don't know if you guys can see it, but that really shows that pattern that we do have. Now things had gone up, in 15 in August and 17 days to sell in September, October, and November, up to 21 here. Now, that is good that we're lower than those other stats for the rest of the state, or the rest of the majority of the state, or, our MLS coverage area, I guess. It's really the best way to put that. It's good to see that we do have a healthier market right now than some other parts of the state of Florida, which again is really great to see. Now that average sales price for a lot of people with the affordability things and things like that do make it really tough. But there are things to help. And with those interest rates having just come down a little bit, at least with the Fed rates and everything else, and people are saying that they're foreseeing that 2024, those interest rates are going to relax a little bit and come down again. That's going to make these higher average sales prices a little more affordable and a little easier to manage and to take a bite out of essentially, especially here in the Tampa area. I do know that that makes it tough for a lot of people on, maybe one income or something like that. So, again, if you have any questions on this, please feel free to let me know. I would be happy to sit down. You can schedule a chat with me at one of the links down below. And we can go over your situation and see what, may be able to help you with buying in this market. But before we get off here, I actually do have one more tab. You see, we have 3 tabs instead of 2 this time, from a mortgage professional, which is really good information as well. It's a little bit just in a little different of a format here. So the housing market, we are sitting a little more towards that seller's market at this point in time. Here in Hillsborough County at least, which is interesting to know. I mean, especially with, the days to sell going higher and, things just sitting a little bit longer and everything. Now, pardon me. Now our housing prices in Hillsborough County. Now this is a little different statistic than we just saw. This is a median sold price. So the other one was an average sales price. This is a median sold price. So this is a little different. Now the cool thing to note here is it has only gone up about 8,000 in the last year. This says since November of 2022. So only 2.3%. So we aren't seeing that craze again that we were seeing a few years ago and everything. So I mean, things are still climbing up, but they're not climbing up near to the extent that they were and making things just, things were just crazy a few years ago, really. So if we go on to the next, we have the number of homes sold. So in October, you see 1,502 homes were sold. Again, this is here in Hillsborough County. In November of 2023, we had 1,206 homes sold. So we had a little less homes sold. Again, some of that is the holiday season. Less people are wanting to move and do all that stuff in the middle of the holidays. So, we do see that number reflected in here, but, some of it is also those interest rates. So 678 homes were sold under asking. So, so many people are still trying to price their homes very high, or on the high end and everything, like we had seen, previous years and everything where they got that and got more. We're just not seeing that. So, just kind of with that statistic, the biggest thing is just pricing your home right. You don't want to price your home on the high end of things and then get beat down, 20, 30, 40, $50,000. If you had priced it correctly, at, maybe the 20 grand under, you would have got right there at asking. So, there's a lot of things that go into play here. Again, I would really love to sit down and chat with you about your situation and what that looks like, whether you're buying or selling. And, just put a plan in place for you. As we're going into 2024, a lot more is going to open up and things do seem to be looking up. This year has been a rough year for a lot of people. And I know a lot of people had put their buying plans to the side just because of those interest rate hikes and everything. So again, I would really love to sit down and chat with you about your situation, put a plan in place and help you find the home of your dreams or, sell and get someplace else or, whatever the case may be and everything. I would love to be that guide to help you. If you want to see what all of this may mean for you and your situation, schedule a chat with me at the link down below or give me a ring. And as always, make sure to subscribe to this channel for everything Tampa, especially for you and your fur babies. Or check out this link right here for all the rest of our market reports.